Welcome back everyone to the Hello World Guide. This is another episode of the Raycaster game in C++ series, and in this video we are going to continue by implementing our actual map drawing functionality with the SFML graphics library. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my terminal here, and we are going to move into the directory where I created our Raycaster project, and in here we are going to begin by opening up map.cpp. So I'm going to open this up and let me go under full screen mode. And one thing I'm going to change before we do anything else is that you can see I set the color to be white here. I'm going to change it to be green because well, I just thought it might be better. So yeah, we're going to set our background fill color to green, and I'm going to save that. And another thing I'll do is that let me open up I'm going to press Control N to open this up, and in here I'm going to go under build, and actually not under build, and in here I'm going to open up not the make file. I'm going to open up main.cpp. We can close the make file, and in main.cpp I'm going to change the size of this to be just 16 by 16. The map I'm not going to make it too large for now, or perhaps let's actually make the size of this or let's actually leave it at 16 by 16 for now. We'll perhaps change it later, the size. For now let's leave it at 16 by 16. And if I were to actually go ahead and run that by running make, you can see that yeah, it does display a green rectangle that's supposed to represent the background. Now why this background drawing earlier will help us, you'll understand in a second. So let's go here, and we are going to execute a loop here. I will execute a for loop. I say for int, actually yeah, let's have it at let's actually use size underscore t here because, well, why not. We are going to say I is equal to 0, and we are going to say I, actually we are not going to call it I, we are going to call it y. We are going to say y is equal to 0 and y is less than grid dot size, and we are going to say y plus plus. What we are going to do in this loop is that first of all, the first thing we'll do in here is that you can see that we have actually got like in here we have got our actual main loop here, and we'll of course need to have an inner loop inside of this. So we'll run another for loop here, size underscore t x is equal to 0, and we have to do x first and y afterwards. We'll say grid y dot size, and the reason we need to do x first and y afterwards is because we arranged it so that each one actually represents the row. So like the main vector contains the rows, and then the row vector contains individual cells. So here we'll do this, and now we just need to draw everything here. So in order to draw it, what we could do, well, actually what we will do here is that we'll just take our grid x and y, grid actually y and x, not x and y, and this will give us our cell. Now depending on this cell we might set our color to be a bit different. What I'm going to do is here I'm going to create another rectangle shape here. Actually we have created a cell rectangle shape here, and we are going to say if our grid y x, the actual cell that we are accessing currently, if we need to check if that cell is equal to 0. If that's equal to 0, then we are going to set our cell dot set fill color, and we are going to set this to sf colon colon color colon colon black, let's just say. We'll set this to black to represent that there is no cell, and else if our grid y x is equal to 1, then we are going to set our cell dot set fill color, and we are going to set this to sf colon colon color, and we could set it to for example white here. You could set it to anything you like actually, but we're going to set it to white. Alright, so that means we have got like our basics, we have set our basic cell color. Now the next thing we need to do is set the cell's position. So we're going to say cell dot set position, and the position we are going to set is basically going to be like this. So like we've got, you can see that we have reduced the cell size a bit here. So one thing we could do is we could say just y we could say sf colon colon vector to f with x multiplied by cell size and y multiplied by cell size. Now that won't actually, that would mean that our actual cell would be kind of at the top left corner. So individual cells are going to be at like top left corner and not in the center like we'd like them to be. So what we'll need to change is that we'll need to actually add to this a small value. So Let's actually not do this here. We don't actually need to do that. We'll just pass in sf colon vector to f with xy, and then multiply that vector by cell size. And now we can, for example, add to this a little bit. So we could add to this another sf vector to f, vector to f here. And what we'll add is going to be our cell size multiplied by 0.5, actually 0.05 like we've got here. So we'll just say cell size multiplied by 0.05f, and let me save that. And yeah, you can see that this is basically what we'll do. We'll increase it by a little bit of amount here, and then in the end we can finally say target dot draw with our cell. Alright, now let's go ahead and run that. Let's open up our let's actually open up our terminal here and run make. And yeah, you can see that this is what happens. We basically get a kind of well, grid here, and it's going like from the left to the right, and you can see that in at the bottom it's leaving empty. That's because while we did add to it this amount, we actually need to add half of this amount, so we need to add 2.5. The reason for that is because we of course want to only move it half, so that it does not go to like top right, only goes to like top left. So let me open up terminal again, and let me try to run this. And yeah, now you can see we have actually got a grid here, and all of these cells are empty, which means that these are like representing the zero values, and the grid is actually perfectly formed. And remember that we are not actually drawing this grid explicitly. Instead, what we are doing here is that we are basically taking our like background. We are drawing the whole green of it, and then we are drawing each individual cells on it, drawing black where that is necessary. So yeah, this means that we have essentially got our grid drawn. And of course, if we were to actually have any cell that was 1, then we'd have white color here instead of black. So let's go ahead and try to create a function for that. So I'm going to space ff here and open up map.h. And in map.h we'll change a little bit here, which is that we'll add an option for allowing you to basically initialize it with a vector. So it will take it and initialize it with a custom vector. So we have got like a map. This creates we've got a constructor that creates an empty map. We'll create another constructor that will take a float cell size, and it will basically take an std colon colon vector of std colon colon vector here, and it's of int. So yeah, it will basically take the whole grid as an argument. Yeah, that's what it's going to do. I'm going to go ahead and copy this here real quick, and then let's save this, move to map.cpp. In here we have got this like empty one implemented. We are going to also implement our other implementation here, and in here what we need to do is we need to initialize the cell size with our cell size, of course, and we can just initialize the actual grid with the grid that we have got, and we actually don't need to do any of this. Yeah, and then we can just leave the actual body of the constructor empty. So yeah, this constructor will allow us to essentially kind of hard code a grid, and then use that to initialize our map. Now in main.cpp we can test this out by creating a hard coded grid and then passing it here. So yeah, let's do that actually. Alright guys, so as you can see, I have created a 12 by 12 like hand coded grid here consisting of zeros and ones, and this will serve as our test map, and later on maybe we'll create a map editor as well. For now we'll just go with like this testing map here, and this is the grid actual, and note how we are initializing our map in the constructor. We are passing in this grid. And if I were to go here and run this by running make, you can see that well, I have also increased the size to 48, but you can see that the Raycaster is working well. Not the Raycaster actually, but the map renderer is working, and we are getting our map rendered like we want to, and it's displaying everything quite nicely. So like how I created now, it's also showing the grid correctly, and it's also showing like how each of these is done. So yeah, I'd say that it's looking quite nice. So yeah, with that we have got like a working Raycaster here kind of. So that's pretty awesome. Well, not a working Raycaster, but a working map drawing functionality for a Raycaster. So yeah, that's pretty awesome, and of course any change I make in here is reflected into this map. So for example, if I were to just go here and I don't know, let's go here and replace these one here, these two with zeros. Now let's go ahead and run this. And you can see that, yeah, now we have an empty space here. So yeah, that's pretty awesome, and that means our map rendering is working, and that's pretty much it for this video. And I'll see you in the next one, in which we'll start to implement like the basic functionalities for our camera and moving around, which would allow us to finally get to the actual raycasting algorithm. So yes, stay tuned for that. Make sure to like and subscribe as well so you don't miss the next video. Make sure to share this video with other people as well, and bye.